Turning and turning in the widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Hello and welcome to the second episode of A Big Small World podcast. I am Chike Anrejon. If you turn on the news today, most of what you see is hardly uplifting. The world seems to be in a constant state of disharmony. It is why today's episode is titled Things Fall Apart. Let's get to that after a short musical break.
Everybody say them they go their way, but I notice say we they block each other way. Lie, you know go hear the people say now our ignorance they make it life hard. Some they talk and some they walk, and time just they pass us by. Every woman they look for man, we go love her right. We go ignore her shortcomings. We go take her like that. And every man, you look for woman to hold it tight. But now ignorance, they let you love you down. Some they come and some they go, and love just they pass us by.
One of the greatest works of literature is Chinua Achebe's book, Things Fall Apart. To open the book, he referenced W.B. Yeats's poem, The Second Coming, which you heard at the top of the episode. The book revolves around Okonkwo, a warrior whose world is turned upside down by a series of unfortunate events. Most unnerving for him was the alien god his people embraced. It's a great read. There is a strong theme of cultural imperialism within the book, and fast forward many decades to the present day, the narrative has changed little, if at all. A friend posted on her social media recently how she is surprised by the events around the world in the year 2020. Take for example in Nigeria, where cases of rape and murder of girls have been recorded. Then we have here in the United States the death of George Floyd, captured on video. The video exposed what has always been the reality for many but was never really fully addressed: the devaluation of black life. It didn't start today. It hadn't disappeared. Like many other supposed difficulty, it was merely swept under the carpet. The outrage and the widespread protests caused another issue to be ignored for a bit: the deadly coronavirus. The numbers for that are gut-wrenching. The aftermath is a shaky global economy. Things are falling apart. The center doesn't seem strong enough to hold anything. But how did we get here? Was there ever a time justice was evenly spread, especially for people who looked like George Floyd? Now that things are falling apart, who will be the losers and who will take home the trophy? Because every story has an ending, even if it's only temporary. For now, any possible ending is a matter of conjecture, but let's assume the disintegration of the current state of affairs can be seen as an opportunity to reevaluate what it means to live in the 21st century. It's a century of stats and figures. Success is often measured by numbers and numbers alone. Unemployment rates are down, and that is success even if the quality of life suffers drastically. Your worth is determined by the take-home check as opposed to the level of your emotional intelligence. It's okay to be a total douche as long as you are well paid, and because of this, some lives are disposable. Because greed and immediate satisfaction have been amplified, some boys have resorted to taking from a woman what she is unwilling to give. The thrill of the process of wooing a woman is now an unnecessary middleman that should be avoided at all costs. The social structure of modern-day society seems to be falling apart. If it forces us to look at how the current structure isn't working and seeking restructuring, I might not be opposed to it. Some things need to fall apart. The song featured was Hey Ya by Brymo. Episode 2 of A Big Small World podcast was written by Chike Henry John for Claypot Media. A Big Small World can be heard on Stitcher, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast.